Name of this story is Alligator Baby by Robert Munsch. Read this before a little while ago. It's kind of a funny story, so that's why I kind of picked it. Reading can be as well as informative. It can also be enjoyable. So I kind of enjoyed this book. It was kind of silly and funny at the same time. So I like to share with you guys Alligator Baby. One night, Kristen's mother woke up and yelled, a baby, I'm having a baby." Kristen's father jumped up, zoomed around the room, got dressed, and grabbed Kristen's mother by the hand. They ran downstairs to the car and drove off really fast. Vroom! Unfortunately, they got lost. They didn't go to the hospital. They went to the zoo. But it was okay. It was okay. Okay, but it was okay. Kristen's mother had a lovely baby. Then they drove home and knocked on their front door. Blam, 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 blam. So, like I said, I thought this was kind of a funny book. As you can see, they went to the zoo instead of the hospital, but everything was okay because Kristen's mother had a lovely baby. We're gonna see how that work out because that just don't sound right to me. She went to the zoo but had a lovely baby. We're gonna see what this is about. Kristen opened the door and there was her mother holding something all wrapped up. Kristen said, would you like to see your new baby brother? Oh, Kristen, she said, sorry about that. Would you like to see your new baby brother? Oh, yes, said Kristen. So Kristen lifted up the bottom of the blanket. She saw a long green tail and said, that's not a people tail. No. Kristen lifted up the middle of the blanket, saw a green claw and said, that's not a people claw. Kristen lifted up the top of the blanket, saw a long green face with lots of teeth and said, that's not a people face. That is not a baby brother. Now Kristen said her mother, don't be jealous. So, as you can see, the first line that I kind of threw me off was, that's not a people tail. So that was kind of funny to me. And as you can see, the young girl that noticed this a claw, the long green face, but the mother says, don't be jealous. We're going to see what's going to happen later. Just then, the baby reached up and bit Kristen's mother on the nose. She yelled, ah! Then the baby reached up and bit her father on the nose. He yelled, ah! That's not a people baby, said Kristen. That's an alligator baby. Goodness, said her mother. We've got the wrong baby. Now the question is, how did they leave the zoo saying that they had a perfect baby? I guess there are other ways to have a baby that I don't know about. So here we go. So Kristen put the alligator baby into the fish tank, and her mother and father drove back to the zoo. They came back in an hour and knocked on the door. Blam, 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 blam. Kristen opened the door, and her mother said, would you like to see your new baby brother? Oh, yes, Kristen said. Kristen lifted up the bottom of the blanket and said, oh, no, Kristen lifted up the bottom of the blanket, saw a fishy tail, and said, that's not a people tail. Kristen lifted up the middle of the blanket, saw a flipper, and said, that's not a people flipper. Kristen lifted up the top of the blanket, saw a face with whiskers, and said, that's not a people face. That is not my baby brother. Now Kristen said, now Kristen said her mother, don't be jealous. So once again, the mother is in denial of what she has in her hand, obviously. Just then, the baby reached up with its flipper and flapped her father's face. Whap, 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 whap. He yelled, ah! It's a seal baby. We got the wrong baby. So Kristen put the CEO baby in the bathtub, and her mother and father drove back to the zoo. I'm having a problem with them keeping all these babies at their house. And they going back to the zoo where they got them from, but they're not taking them back. It's not making any sense. We'll see how that ends up in the end. They came back in an hour and knocked on the door. Blam, 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 blam. They said, Kristen, would you like to see your new baby brother? She's so insistent that she's having a baby boy this whole time. Okay, so, oh yes, said Kristen. She lifted up the bottom of the blanket, saw a very hairy leg, and said, that's not a people leg. She lifted up the middle of the blanket, saw a very hairy arm, and said, that's not a people arm. She lifted up the top of the blanket, saw a very hairy face, and said, that's not a people face. That is not my baby brother. Now, Kristen, said her mother, don't be jealous. Then the baby reached up with his feet and grabbed her mother's ear and her father's ear, and they both yelled, ah, it's a gorilla baby. We've, we've got the wrong baby. Let me do it, said Kristen. So her mother and father put the gorilla baby on the chandelier in the living room, and Kristen went off to the zoo on her bicycle. I just think there's so much wrong with this story. All right. First, Kristen looked in the snake cage. No people babies. I would hope so. Then Kristen looked in the wombat cage. No people babies. Then Kristen looked in the elephant cage. No people babies. Then she stopped and listened. From far away she heard, wah, wah, wah. That's more like it, said Kristen. She followed the sound. It was coming from the gorilla cage. Kristen looked at the mommy gorilla and said, give me my baby brother. The gorilla jumped away and wouldn't give the baby back at all. Then the people baby reached up and bit the gorilla on the nose, and the gorilla yelled, ah, and handed the baby to Kristen. Kristen jumped on her bicycle and pedaled home. I really don't think that's what would have happened if a baby bit a gorilla on the nose, but like I said, some reading is just for enjoyment and just for fun. This is obviously one of those stories. Because she done got on the bicycle with the baby in the basket and pedaled home. So now Kristen's pedaled home. Kristen knocked on the door. Blam, 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 blam. When her parents opened it, she said, would you like to see your new baby? Kristen's mother lifted up the bottom of the blanket and said, look, people legs. She lifted up the middle of the blanket and said, look, people hands. She lifted up the top of the blanket and said, look, a people face. Kristen's mother picked up the baby and gave it a big hug. Her father took the baby and gave it a big hug. And her mother said, Kristen, Kristen, you got the baby back. Good for you. But what are we going to do with all these other babies? Yelled Kristen's father. There's a seal baby in the bathtub, an alligator baby in the fish tank, and a gorilla baby hanging from the chandelier. We should take them back to the zoo. But Kristen looked out the window and said, I don't think we'll have to do anything at all. And as you can see, you got the seal, the gorilla, and the alligator have come for their babies, busting through their wall. And everything was okay until Kristen's mother had twins. And that's the end. Everything was okay until Kristen's mother had twins. So I don't know whose baby Kristen brought home, and I don't know why the mother didn't know that wasn't her baby. But like I said, this book to me was real silly, and just thought it was really enjoyable, funny read. Uh, I want to thank you for your time. Appreciate you checking us out. If you missed us on Facebook, we'll be posting these on Instagram and also on our YouTube channel at Black to Life, B.L.A.C.K, the number 2, LIFE. And also, if you want any more information on Black to Life and how to be an ambassador, how to help our movement, how to just help us out and support our cause, please visit www.blacktolife, that's B-L-A-C-K, the number 2, life, LIFE.org. Check us out. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.